what I've learned from trading with Audacity so far is that I should never use high leverage. Never, never, never.
So I'll just get started by saying who I am and what I'm doing today. So my name is Leah from the PR department of AudaCity Capital. And we're currently just conducting a few interviews with our traders just to find out a bit more about their trading journey and how they got interested in trading. So my first question for you is just to introduce yourself and then explain how you got interested in trading and where that interest started.
All right. Well, actually, I have a very long story, but I'm going to try to make it short as much as I can. The first time I got interested in trading, since I was very young, I was 5 years old. So I'm originally from Sudan. So I went and I asked my dad, before when I was young, when I hear the word dollar, my perception to it was like, I thought it's a number, it's not a currency. So I was asking my dad, how much is dollar? He was saying it's 2 pounds. I told him, what 2 pounds? He said, only 2 pounds. It was so weird because back then it was only 2 pounds of my currency, Sudanese pound. I was like, Dad, it's not like million or billion or no. He was like, no, it's a number. It's a currency equal to 2 Sudanese pound. So I was like, okay, wow. I didn't believe him. I went and I asked my uncle. He said it's a United States currency, and it's equal to $2.1. I was like, oh my God, you're lying to me because my dad said it's $2. You're saying 2.1, $2.10. I was like, all right. I asked another uncle, and he was like, yeah, it's a US currency and it's worth 1.9. I was like, oh my God, someone is lying. And I asked him who's lying, and he was like, no one is lying. It's fluctuated. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, stuff like that. So like, okay, if I bought it today, how much it is? He was like, it's 1.9. So I told him, if I kept it, would it go to 2.5, for example? He was like, yes, possibly. I was like, okay, I want dollars. I went to my dad and I told him I want dollars. I want to convert my currency in dollars. I was like, okay, collect the money. When you collect it, I will go get you dollar. Collect $20. I went and I collected $20 and I converted to dollars. I bought it at 1.9. I sold it 2.3. And it turns out that it's a business. And back then I forgot about it. But when I went to school in Sudan, the first year it was in 2011. So back then we had inflation caused because South Sudan separated from North Sudan, and Sudan used to rely heavily on the oil that's produced by South Sudan. So we lose the revenues of the oil. It's used to represent 25% of the GDP. But after South Sudan separation, it represents only 2% of the GDP. So we had a great deficit in the balance of payment, and the inflation was going like crazy because in 2011 it was 2.5. Today it's 380. Like,
Wow, yeah.
Like if you have savings of 100 Sudanese pound, it was back then $50,000. Now the same savings equal $130, $136. The savings that used to worth $50,000 equal $130,000. So that got me interested more and more to learn about it. And I was asking because after that era, there was a rise of the black market traders, dealers. These people make so much money. It's not a regulated market. It's a black market, but people are making so much money. So I was asking my mom, because my mom graduated from economy. I asked her, is there any people who can forecast the fluctuation of the financial market? Like people can forecast how much it's going to worth tomorrow, how much it's going to worth after months, stuff like that. He told me, yeah, there's an economist. So, and sadly, unfortunately, I did management. I didn't do economy because, you know, when you're young, we don't know what to do, what you want exactly. And if you're lucky, and if you're lucky, you will go to the school that fits your personality, your preferences. But I was very young. I went to school when I was 15 because in Sudan, we study only 11 years. It's primary school 8 years, secondary school 3 years. So it's 11 years. It's not even 12 years. And I was very young. I was kind of not knowing what I want. And I did management. But my research in management was fluctuation of foreign exchange rate and its impact on import dealers, because the import dealers was struggling. Today, like during the same day, they have different prices because they can lose because they import it, for example, for $100. They end up selling it for maybe double the price in Sudanese pound, but in dollars, they're losing money. So it was very interesting. I got triggered. I made my research and I interviewed black market dealers. I interviewed bankers. I interviewed import dealers. It was very interesting. And the findings, like I'm seeing it's happening right now. Like, and that's my story, like shortly was trading. And yeah, I remember one important thing. I went and I discussed it with my professor in university. He told me there's something called Forex trading. You don't know it? I told him, no, I don't know it. He told me, okay, firstly, I'll give you these books. Go read about them. He gave me software books in Flash, like 10 books of trading, like Trade for a Living by Alexander Elder, Come to My Trading Room, Trading the Zone, Mark Douglas. So I read the introduction. He told me only read the introductions. If this is really what you want, come back to me. I read the introductions. I'm very lazy to read, but I was so interested. I read all of them, like not the books, the introductions. I went back to my teacher and I told him, yeah, that's what I want. So he guided me to the Forex trading platform. I downloaded my demo trading account and I started demo trading since 2014. And from Sudan, it was really struggle. It was really hard because Sudan was sanctioned by the US. So we can't have MasterCard, Visa card, wire transfer. The SWIFT code is banned from Sudan. So it was very hard. So I had to ask my auntie, who's in Saudi Arabia, to open an account for me under her name so I can trade it. And it was very hard. Even collecting $100 back then, it was very difficult in Sudan. I collected my money and I opened my account and I started trading ever since. It was going like, well, ups and downs, stuff like that. But like I witnessed so many things, some stuff like Brexit. And the best trade that I made, it was over Brexit on the 23rd of July or June. I don't really remember. But I made so much money. I was shorting the sterling. I'm sorry for that, but I was shorting it. Yeah. And I made lots of money, like lots of money from that trade. It was my best trade until today. And today I'm working here in Qatar. I came to Qatar 5 years back to do my master's degree in public policy. And I was doing most of my research was focusing on the fiscal policy and the monetary policy because it's most relevant to my interest. And I started trading here. Now I'm freelance portfolio manager. I'm managing over $150,000. But it's very difficult because when you manage money for investors who don't know anything about investing, it's a headache. It's a headache because, like, I tell them I can make money every month, every day, every week. So it's every 3 months we will share profit because I average my return, and sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. That's it.
I think that's such an interesting story, especially since the first time you came in contact or really found out about trading was when you were 5 years old. And I think that's such a great way to explain to someone who maybe has no idea about trading or anything like that, about the dollar can equal 2, 1.9, 2.3. And that's so interesting that you've had that in your head since that you were 5 years old, and you've came all this way. So that's great to hear. That's such an interesting story. So I know you said that you had you're currently doing your master's degree, but did you have any other education regarding Forex or?
No, actually I finished my master in 2018. I graduated already like 3 years, but I started doing the CMT and I passed part 1, the charter market technician. So I did only CMT. Yeah.
I see. So aside from that, and congratulations on completing your master's as well, that's a great achievement. Did you teach yourself mostly how to trade Forex, or did you have a mentor? Or I know you said that your teacher gave you some books and stuff. Like, how did you learn how to trade Forex, basically?
Actually, I've never had a mentor, but mostly it's self-education. I read Baby Pips. It's my favorite book because of the language it's written. I read Coming to My Trading Room by Alexander Elder, Trade for a Living, Alexander Elder. I also I read what's my coach McCall, that book, Trading the Zone, for Mark Douglas. And I watched so many videos for him. Like, he has like very long lectures in YouTube. It's free, like 40 minutes lecture. And it's very interesting and it's very insightful. Like, gives you very good, like, it's all about the psychology of trading, because trading it has nothing to do with your intelligence. If you're average, that's fine, but you have to have the discipline. Discipline is the key for trading. And I'm struggling with discipline, especially like when you trade for the money, you end up losing it. But when you trade for the sake of trading, you do well. And that's always in the back of my mind, and that's what makes me lose money until today. Like I'm still struggling. I haven't still figured it out, but like I feel like I'm very, very, very close.
Yeah, definitely. I think with what you've told me, I think you definitely are very close to just perfecting your trading. So I wouldn't worry about that. You seem very knowledgeable on trading and the markets in general. So that is really great to hear. So you're on the funded trader program with AudaCity Capital, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so how's that been for you so far? Do you have any feedback? How's your trading been? Anything you would like to share?
Actually, it's going okay. But the thing is, because like it's first time for me to trade prop trading money, and it's you have guidelines. You have to be disciplined because elsewhere you'll be kicked off you'll be locked out of your account. So like it's kind of comfortable because I'm not liable for losses, and I have to follow strict full guidelines. If I didn't follow it, I'm out. So that's good. That's okay. Like I don't remember the last time I traded using only stop loss take profit, because you know when you're trading on your own, traders doesn't like to use a stop loss, and we like to use a take profit only, but sometimes things doesn't go really well. Also, what I've learned from trading with AudaCity so far is that I should never use high leverage. Never, never, never. Especially when trading people's money, when trading big amount. Like the idea of trading with leverage less than 100 to 1 to 100 scares me. But now I'm trading 1 to 5, and it's going great. Like, but now you know the minimum I have, like my own accounts, it's 1 to 500. But I'm minimizing it little by little. But the company account, it's a great experience.
Great. I'm glad you're enjoying it so far. And obviously, as your account grows as well, once you get to those 10% targets, it gets a little bit easier with the lot size. You have a little bit more freedom with that as well. But I'm really glad that you're enjoying it so far and you're finding it useful. That's great to hear. So my last question, I know that you said how important psychology is, but is there any other advice you could give to someone who maybe is just starting their trading journey? Like some advice maybe you would have liked to heard when you started off your journey, or something that you think would be useful to a newcomer?
Actually, I regret not doing it from the beginning regularly, because I was doing it on and off, on and off. And I regret, like every day, I regret not doing it since the first day I started doing it. And the thing with the stop loss and take profit, like I've learned a lot, like from back testing, because back testing give you insights, because we always make assumptions, but when we do the back testing, it's completely different story. Actually, I do back testing with I rent from the cloud, from Google Cloud. I rent from them supercomputers so I can run my back testing smoothly, because sometimes I end up testing quintillions of data. It takes like very long time, like sometimes 500 hours, 30 days consecutively, and I can't afford to keep my laptop open for that long. So I rent from the cloud supercomputer to run my testing, to learn from it. And I don't necessarily have to trade using my robot, but I learn from my robot. The feedback I get from my robot, to me, it's priceless. And what I've learned so far is that the stop loss should never be tight, and the take profit as well. But the thing that I've learned from the back testing, not from the books, mostly what makes you successful, 1-to-1 ratio, risk reward ratio. But it's dangerous, it's not advised, it's not recommended, but that's what works when I back test it. But it shouldn't be tight, because you make the trade-off between the winning ratio and the losses. But when you make your stop loss wide, and you buy the dips, or you buy whenever you get a chance according to your strategy, whatever the strategy is, it's better to keep your stop loss very far and ignore it. Don't do anything, whatever it takes.
I think that is some great advice, and yeah, I totally agree with you, especially about the stop loss and previously about how important psychology was. So yeah, definitely, that's great, and hopefully someone can take something away from that advice. So that's great to hear.
Okay.
And I think that's everything from me today. So thank you so much for this interview. It's been really nice hearing your story. It's been really interesting. And hopefully in a few weeks or months, we can catch up again to see how you're doing with the account.
Hopefully.
Great. Have a nice day.
Same to you.
See you later. Bye-bye.